Zulqarnain's journey, as described in the Quran, is one of the most mysterious and debated narratives in Islamic history. His travels, his encounters, and his mission have led scholars, historians, and thinkers to ponder deeply over their true meanings. But before we begin, let us remind ourselves, whatever understanding we try to develop is merely an educated guess. The ultimate knowledge belongs to Allah alone. Only He knows the true reality of Zulqarnain's journey. In Surah Al-Kahf 18:83-86, Allah introduces Zulqarnain, describing him as a powerful ruler whom Allah had granted authority and means for every kind of purpose. The verses state, "And they ask you about Zulqarnain. Say, I will recite to you something of his story. Indeed, we established him upon the earth, and we gave him to everything away. So he followed away." Quran 18:83-85. These opening verses set the tone for Zulqarnain's epic journey. He was no ordinary ruler. He was divinely aided, given vast control over lands, and granted the resources to accomplish whatever mission he was assigned. But what was this mission? And where did his journey lead him? The Quran then describes Zulqarnain reaching a place where the sun appeared to set in a murky or muddy spring. Until, when he reached the setting of the sun, he found it setting in a spring of black muddy water, and he found near it a people. We said, "O Zulqarnain, either you punish them or treat them with kindness." Quran 18:86. This single verse has sparked centuries of discussion. What does it mean for the sun to set in a muddy spring? Is this a literal description, or does it hold a deeper symbolic or scientific meaning? Some classical scholars understood it as a description of the horizon, where it merely appeared as if the sun was setting in water, just as we might see at the ocean's edge. Others suggested that this could refer to a real physical location, perhaps a vast swamp, lake, or sea. But then comes a more intriguing possibility. Could this description hint at something beyond Earth? Could this muddy spring be a celestial phenomenon, something that Zulqarnain witnessed beyond our conventional understanding of geography? Some theories even suggest that he might have traveled through time or dimensions, encountering a place unlike any known on Earth. Another key part of this verse is that he found a people there. Who were they? What kind of civilization existed in that land? The Quran does not provide a detailed description, but we do know that Zulqarnain was given authority over them. He was given the choice to either punish them or to show mercy. This further emphasizes that his journey was not just about exploration. It was a mission of judgment and governance. What did he decide? The next verses clarify his approach. He said, "As for one who wrongs, we will punish him. Then he will be returned to his Lord, and he will punish him with a terrible punishment. But as for one who believes and does righteousness, he will have a reward, and we will speak to him with ease." Quran 18:87-88. Zulqarnain ruled with justice. He did not act recklessly or harshly but instead judged people based on their deeds. He punished wrongdoers, yet he was merciful to those who believed and did good. His governance was balanced, neither oppressive nor weak. This marks the completion of the first leg of his journey, but it leaves us with more questions than answers. Where exactly did he go? Was this an earthly journey, or did it extend beyond our world? What significance does his encounter with these people hold? As we move forward, we will explore possible interpretations and theories, seeking to understand the depth of Zulqarnain's mysterious first journey. But in the end, we must remember, only Allah knows the full truth. Zulqarnain's journey, as described in the Quran, leaves us with one of the most intriguing questions: where exactly did he travel? Was it a journey across Earth, reaching distant lands unknown to us today? Or was it something beyond human comprehension, perhaps into another realm or dimension? Many scholars and historians have debated this question for centuries. Some believe that his journey was entirely within the known world, while others suggest that it may have extended beyond our physical reality. As always, we must remind ourselves, whatever conclusions we draw are merely educated guesses. The ultimate knowledge belongs to Allah alone. The earthly journey theory. One of the most common interpretations is that Zulqarnain traveled to the far reaches of the earth. The Quran states that he reached a place where the sun appeared to set in a muddy spring. This has led many to speculate that he might have traveled to a vast body of water, such as the Black Sea, the Caspian Sea, or even a remote swamp or lake. Some classical Islamic scholars, such as Ibn Kathir, suggested that this description refers to the visual effect of the sun setting over water, much like how it appears when setting over the ocean. This would mean that Zulqarnain traveled westward to the edge of a great sea, encountering people living in that distant land. Historical records also support the idea that great rulers of the past undertook long expeditions to conquer and govern new territories. Some link Zulqarnain with Alexander the Great, who famously traveled far and wide, although there are significant differences between their stories. Others suggest that he could have been a Persian or an Arab king who ruled vast regions. If Zulqarnain's journey was earthly, then it is possible that he traveled through rugged terrains, deserts, and vast wildernesses to reach unknown lands. But even within this theory, there remains much uncertainty. The Quran does not specify any modern geographic locations, leaving room for many possibilities. The interdimensional or celestial journey theory. Another fascinating possibility is that Zulqarnain's journey was not limited to Earth alone. Could it be that he traveled through dimensions, reaching places unknown to human civilization? The phrase, "he found it setting in a muddy spring," has led some to consider a more cosmic interpretation. Some scholars have suggested that this could refer to an astronomical event, a place where celestial phenomena made it appear as if the sun was being swallowed by darkness. If so, did Zulqarnain witness something beyond normal human experience? In modern times, some theories even explore the idea that Zulqarnain's journey might have involved something similar to a wormhole or a dimensional portal. While this is purely speculative, it raises intriguing questions. Could there be pathways in the universe that allow travel between realms? If Allah granted Zulqarnain power and means to travel great distances, is it possible that those means were beyond what we understand today? In various ancient cultures and traditions, stories exist of rulers and heroes traveling to otherworldly places. Some myths and legends describe journeys to lands where time moves differently, where beings exist beyond human comprehension. Could Zulqarnain's journey be one such event, recorded in divine revelation? The unknown people he encountered. A key detail in the Quran's account is that Zulqarnain found a people at the place where the sun set. If this was an earthly journey, they may have been an ancient tribe, living in isolation from the rest of the world. Many lost civilizations have existed in history, and perhaps Zulqarnain encountered one of them. However, if this was a journey into another realm, then who were these people? Were they humans like us, or were they something else entirely? Some interpretations suggest that they could have been a different type of creation, possibly from a hidden dimension of existence. The Quran does not give specifics, leaving this question open-ended. Did Zulqarnain have special knowledge or technology? One of the most intriguing aspects of Zulqarnain's story is that he was given divine knowledge and means to accomplish his mission. Could this mean that he had access to advanced technology or knowledge beyond his time? Some speculate that he may have possessed tools or transportation methods that allowed him to travel vast distances at incredible speeds. Throughout history, many civilizations have had knowledge that seemed ahead of their time. The construction of massive structures like the pyramids, the mysterious precision of ancient astronomical sites, and the advanced navigation techniques of early explorers all point to the idea that humanity has often possessed knowledge that is not easily explained. Could Zulqarnain have been granted something even greater? If so, what kind of power allowed him to reach such distant lands? And was this power purely physical, or was it something more? The mystery remains. At the end of the day, the location of Zulqarnain's first journey remains a mystery. Whether it was a terrestrial journey to the far reaches of the earth or an interdimensional voyage beyond human understanding, the Quran leaves the details open for reflection. What we do know for sure is that Zulqarnain's journey was purposeful. He was sent on a mission, and his travels were not for personal gain but for the fulfillment of Allah's will. His encounters, his governance, and his decisions all had a deeper significance. As we continue exploring his story, we must remember that only Allah knows the full truth. Our understanding is limited, and while we can analyze and theorize, the ultimate reality of Zulqarnain's journey belongs to Allah alone. The journey of Zulqarnain, as described in the Quran, has fascinated scholars and historians for centuries. One of the most debated aspects of his travels is the location. Where exactly did he go? While traditional interpretations suggest that he traveled across Earth, others propose more extraordinary theories. Could Zulqarnain have journeyed beyond our planet? Could his travels have involved intergalactic or even interdimensional movement? As always, we must acknowledge that only Allah possesses ultimate knowledge. We can only explore possibilities based on what is revealed in the Quran and historical context. Did Zulqarnain travel to a distant land on Earth? The most conventional theory is that Zulqarnain's journey was purely terrestrial. According to this interpretation, he traveled westward until he reached a place where the sun appeared to set in a muddy spring. Some scholars believe this could refer to a vast body of water, such as the Black Sea or the Caspian Sea. Others suggest it could be an ancient landmass now lost to time. However, the description given in the Quran is quite mysterious. The phrase, "he found the sun setting in a muddy spring," has led some to believe that the journey was not just a physical one but had a deeper, more cosmic meaning. The intergalactic travel theory, a bold possibility. One of the more extraordinary theories is that Zulqarnain's journey was not limited to Earth. Could it be that he traveled beyond our planet, venturing into the vastness of space? This theory stems from the idea that Zulqarnain was granted special knowledge and means by Allah. The Quran states, "Indeed, we established him upon the earth, and we gave him to everything away." Surah Al-Kahf 18:84. The phrase, "away," has been interpreted in various ways. Some believe it means a method of ruling justly, while others speculate that it could refer to physical or technological means that allowed him to traverse great distances. If we entertain the idea of intergalactic travel, could it mean that Zulqarnain was given access to an advanced mode of transportation unknown to us? Throughout history, civilizations have spoken of beings who descended from the skies, rulers who came from the heavens, and celestial paths that connected different realms. Ancient texts from various cultures describe flying chariots, divine vehicles, and portals leading to other worlds. While these are mostly myths and legends, they make us wonder, did Zulqarnain have access to something similar? Could the muddy spring be a celestial event? If we consider an intergalactic interpretation, the Quranic description of Zulqarnain seeing the sun set in a muddy spring could take on a different meaning. Some scholars suggest that this could refer to a cosmic phenomenon rather than a literal body of water. Could it be that he traveled so far west that he reached a point where the sun appeared to sink into an unknown cosmic horizon? Some astronomical events, such as black holes or dense nebulae, give the illusion of celestial bodies disappearing into a muddy or clouded region of space. If Zulqarnain had access to a means of interstellar travel, could he have ventured into a different solar system or another region of the universe? The Quran does not specify physical limitations on his journey, leaving the possibility open to interpretation. The portal hypothesis. Did Zulqarnain travel through dimensions? Another intriguing theory suggests that Zulqarnain may not have traveled through physical space but rather through dimensions. In many ancient cultures, there are stories of portals, gateways to other worlds. The idea of doors, or gates, between different realms is not new. Even in modern physics, scientists discuss the theoretical possibility of wormholes, which could serve as shortcuts between vast distances in space. Could Zulqarnain's journey have involved something similar? If Allah granted him special means, is it possible that he was able to move between different realms of existence? The Quran describes his journey as covering immense distances in a relatively short time. If this was beyond ordinary human travel, could he have been passing through portals unknown to us? Interestingly, many religious and historical texts describe beings who traveled between worlds. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, himself was taken on the miraculous journey of Isra and Miraj, ascending through the heavens in a single night. While Zulqarnain's journey was different, it raises the question, was he given a unique method of travel that allowed him to reach places beyond human reach? What kind of civilization did he encounter? Another aspect that supports the idea of an extraordinary journey is the mention of the people Zulqarnain encountered. The Quran states that he found a group of people living at the place where the sun set. If his journey was terrestrial, this could mean an isolated human civilization. However, if we consider the possibility of intergalactic travel, could these people have been entirely different from us? Were they an advanced race, or perhaps a civilization untouched by time? Many ancient legends speak of lost civilizations with great knowledge. Some even describe beings who lived in places where the laws of time and space worked differently. If Zulqarnain ventured beyond Earth, could he have found such a place? The Quran leaves the mystery open. The Quran provides us with just enough detail to spark curiosity but not enough to give a definitive answer. This is why Zulqarnain's journey continues to be debated among scholars, historians, and even scientists. What we do know is that his journey had a purpose. Whether he traveled across Earth, through space, or between dimensions, Zulqarnain was fulfilling a mission given to him by Allah. His travels were not for personal conquest but to establish justice and righteousness. At the end of the day, we can only speculate. The truth of Zulqarnain's journey is known only to Allah. What matters most is the lesson we take from it. Power is a test, and those who are granted knowledge and means must use them wisely. Whether his journey took him to the ends of the earth or the edges of the cosmos, Zulqarnain's story reminds us that the universe is vast, full of mysteries, and ultimately under the command of Allah. The journey of Zulqarnain, as described in the Quran, raises many fascinating questions. One of the most intriguing possibilities is whether his travels involved more than just physical movement across land and sea. Could he have traveled through portals or crossed into different dimensions? As always, we must acknowledge that only Allah has ultimate knowledge. Our exploration of these ideas is merely an attempt to understand possibilities based on the Quran, historical perspectives, and modern theories. Are portals mentioned in ancient texts? The idea of portals, gateways that allow travel between distant locations or even different dimensions, exists in various religious, historical, and mythological texts. In many ancient civilizations, there are references to gates of the gods, heavenly ladders, and doors that lead to realms beyond human comprehension. In the Islamic tradition, the miraculous journey of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, during Isra and Miraj is an example of divine transportation. He traveled from Makkah to Jerusalem and then ascended through the heavens in a single night. This event was not bound by human limitations of time and space. If such travel was possible for the Prophet, peace be upon him, could Zulqarnain have also been granted a unique means of traversing vast distances? Some scholars believe that the Quran's description of Zulqarnain's journey suggests something beyond ordinary travel. The phrase, "We gave him to everything away," Surah Al-Kahf 18:84, implies that he was granted extraordinary means to reach his destinations. Could this have included access to dimensional pathways or hidden routes unknown to mankind? The science of portals and dimensional travel. Modern physics, particularly in the fields of quantum mechanics and astrophysics, has explored the possibility of portals or wormholes. A wormhole is a theoretical shortcut through space-time, potentially connecting distant parts of the universe. If such phenomena exist, they could allow for near-instantaneous travel across vast distances. Some scientists propose that black holes or other cosmic structures might serve as gateways to different dimensions. If Zulqarnain's journey took him beyond Earth, could he have accessed such a portal? Was he taken through a hidden passage that allowed him to reach a place where the sun appeared to set in a muddy spring? It is also possible that these gates were not just physical but spiritual or energetic in nature. Many ancient cultures believed in places where the boundaries between worlds were thin, allowing certain individuals to pass through. Zulqarnain's journey might have taken him through such a gateway, leading him to an unknown realm. Did Zulqarnain's travels involve time distortions? Another intriguing aspect of portals and dimensional travel is the concept of time distortion. If Zulqarnain used a means of travel beyond human understanding, could he have experienced time differently? In Einstein's theory of relativity, time is not constant, it changes depending on speed and gravity. If Zulqarnain had access to a portal, he might have traveled in a way that made days or years pass differently for him compared to those left behind. This idea aligns with stories from various traditions that speak of individuals who traveled great distances or entered mysterious places, only to return and find that time had passed differently for the rest of the world. Such a concept could explain why Zulqarnain's journey seemed to cover immense distances in a relatively short period. Encounters with otherworldly beings. If Zulqarnain's journey involved traveling through dimensions, could he have encountered beings different from humans? Some interpretations suggest that he met civilizations that were isolated or unknown to the rest of the world. The Quran does not describe these people in detail, but if we consider the possibility of dimensional travel, they could have been inhabitants of a parallel world. Many cultures speak of hidden civilizations, lost lands, and beings who exist alongside us but remain unseen. Could Zulqarnain's journey have brought him into contact with such entities? The concept of the jinn, as mentioned in the Quran, also supports the idea of beings existing in different dimensions. Jinn are said to live in a parallel world, interacting with humans at times but remaining largely unseen. If portals exist, could they serve as passageways between our world and others, including realms inhabited by the jinn or other creations of Allah? The role of Zulqarnain's mission in this travel. Regardless of how Zulqarnain traveled, whether across land, through the skies, or between dimensions, his mission was always about justice and guidance. His journeys were not for personal conquest but to fulfill a divine purpose. If he did use portals or hidden pathways, it was because Allah granted him the means to reach people who needed his leadership. This aligns with the Quranic message that Zulqarnain was a ruler given immense power but used it wisely. The mystery remains. At the end of the day, the exact nature of Zulqarnain's travels remains unknown. What we do know is that his story is one of divine guidance, immense knowledge, and a responsibility that transcended time and space. Was he a ruler who journeyed across Earth, or was he a traveler who moved through unseen realms? Could his journeys have involved celestial pathways, portals, or interdimensional travel? Only Allah knows the full truth. One thing is certain. Zulqarnain's story continues to inspire us, reminding us that the universe is full of mysteries yet to be understood. His journey, whether across vast lands, deep space, or hidden dimensions, was ultimately a test of leadership, wisdom, and faith. The Quran describes one of Zulqarnain's journeys in a fascinating way. Until, when he reached the setting of the sun, he found it setting in a spring of dark mud, and he found near it a people. Surah Al-Kahf 18:86. This verse has sparked debate for centuries. What does it mean for the sun to set in a muddy spring? Did Zulqarnain physically reach such a place, or is this a metaphorical description? Could it have been an optical illusion, a symbolic reference, or something beyond our understanding? As always, we must acknowledge that only Allah knows the ultimate truth. A literal interpretation, a place on earth. Some scholars believe that this verse refers to a real location on earth. If Zulqarnain was a historical ruler, he may have traveled westward until he reached a body of water that appeared to engulf the sun at sunset. This phenomenon is common when watching a sunset over the ocean, a lake, or even a large swamp. The horizon plays tricks on the eyes, making it seem as if the sun is sinking into the water. Many ancient travelers described similar sights when reaching the edge of vast waters. A few possible locations that match this description include the Black Sea. Some historians suggest that Zulqarnain traveled as far as the Black Sea, where the sun setting over the dark waters could have appeared as though it was sinking into a muddy spring. Western Africa. Others propose that he may have reached a large lake or a coastal area where the sun seemed to disappear into the horizon. Swamps and marshlands. Certain regions have large bodies of muddy water where the reflection of the sun at dusk creates an illusion of the sun setting into the earth itself. If this was a real location, then the verse might simply be describing what Zulqarnain saw from his perspective, an optical illusion rather than a literal event. A metaphorical or symbolic meaning. Some scholars argue that the Quran often uses vivid descriptions to convey deeper meanings. Could the sun setting in a muddy spring symbolize something beyond a physical location? One interpretation suggests that the muddy spring represents the decline of a powerful civilization. As Zulqarnain traveled westward, he may have encountered a people who were in moral or political decay, hence, the setting sun symbolizing their downfall. This aligns with his role as a just ruler who either punished the wicked or guided the righteous. Another possibility is that this imagery reflects a spiritual journey. The Quran sometimes describes things in ways that make sense to the human mind but have deeper, divine meanings. Could this journey symbolize Zulqarnain reaching a place of darkness, ignorance, or corruption, where his leadership was needed? An otherworldly possibility, a different realm. Given the theories of interdimensional travel and portals, some researchers believe that Zulqarnain may not have traveled to a typical earthly location at all. If he had access to advanced means of travel granted by Allah, could he have reached a place where time, space, and natural laws worked differently? Some believe this could be a reference to a realm where the laws of physics are different, possibly another dimension or a hidden part of the world that is not accessible by normal means. The phrase, "a spring of dark mud," might describe an environment where the sun's light interacted differently with the atmosphere, perhaps an extreme region of the Earth or even a place beyond our planet. Theories about parallel worlds or hidden lands have existed in many ancient cultures. While modern science does not confirm these ideas, the Quran reminds us that the universe is full of mysteries that we may not yet understand. Who were the people Zulqarnain found there? The verse also states that Zulqarnain found near it a people. Who were they? Were they an unknown tribe living in harsh conditions, or was this a symbolic reference to a civilization facing hardship? If this was a real location, these people might have been isolated from the rest of the world, living in extreme conditions. Zulqarnain, as a just ruler, was given the power to either guide them or correct their wrongdoing. If this was a metaphor, it could refer to a group of people who had fallen into corruption, ignorance, or suffering, needing the leadership and wisdom Zulqarnain was blessed with. The mystery remains. The exact meaning of this journey remains unknown. Was Zulqarnain's experience a literal journey to a muddy land, a symbolic reference to a decaying civilization, or something beyond human understanding? The Quran provides glimpses into his travels but does not explain every detail. As believers, we acknowledge that some aspects of his story may remain a mystery, known only to Allah. What we do know is that Zulqarnain was a figure of immense power, wisdom, and righteousness. His journey to the place where the sun set in a muddy spring was not just about exploration, it was a mission, a test, and a lesson for us all. Zulqarnain's first journey, as described in the Quran, was not just a physical expedition, it carried deep meaning. It was a journey of power, justice, and divine purpose. But what does this journey teach us about his mission? Was he merely a conqueror, or was there a greater reason behind his travels? A ruler with divine guidance. Unlike ordinary kings, Zulqarnain was not motivated by personal ambition, wealth, or conquest. His travels were not random, they were part of a divinely ordained mission. Allah gave him both power and wisdom, making him a ruler who upheld justice wherever he went. His journey to the place where the sun set in a muddy spring was not just about geographical exploration. It was a test. How would he treat the people he encountered? Would he be just, or would he misuse his power? This moment reveals an essential aspect of Zulqarnain's character. He was not a tyrant, he was a righteous leader who ruled with fairness. When given power over people, he sought to uphold justice, showing that true leadership is about responsibility, not domination. The concept of power and responsibility. One of the biggest lessons from Zulqarnain's journey is how power should be used. Unlike many rulers who have exploited their strength for personal gain, Zulqarnain understood that power is a trust from Allah. He did not rule through fear or oppression, he ruled with justice. In his first journey, he reached a group of people. The Quran does not provide details about their civilization, but it tells us that Zulqarnain had the authority to decide their fate. Instead of acting arrogantly, he applied fairness, giving each group what they deserved. This teaches us that power is not about control but about serving justice. Zulqarnain's leadership reflects the ideal of a ruler who balances authority with compassion, a lesson that remains relevant today. The symbolism of the setting sun. The Quran's description of the sun setting in a muddy spring is one of the most debated aspects of Zulqarnain's journey. But beyond the physical interpretation, could this also symbolize something greater? A setting sun often represents the decline of something, a civilization, a time period, or an era. Could it be that Zulqarnain's journey to this place was a sign that he was witnessing the downfall of a people who had strayed from the right path? His mission may not have been just about travel but about bringing guidance, justice, and order wherever he went. Perhaps he was sent to uplift those who had lost their way, showing them a path toward righteousness. Testing the limits of human exploration. Another lesson we learn from Zulqarnain's journey is the nature of human exploration. Allah had given him the means to travel far and wide, reaching lands unknown to others. Was he meant to push the boundaries of what humans could discover? His story challenges the idea that the world is limited to what we can see. If Zulqarnain could reach distant lands, whether on Earth or beyond, his journey reminds us that the universe is vast, and there is always more to uncover. His story encourages curiosity and the pursuit of knowledge, reminding us that seeking truth is a noble pursuit, as long as it is done with the right intentions. Justice over oppression. Zulqarnain's leadership style stands in stark contrast to many rulers of history. His story teaches us that ultimate success comes from ruling with fairness, not fear. He did not impose his will unjustly, instead, he sought to guide people toward what was right. The Quran tells us that Zulqarnain had the ability to punish wrongdoers but also to reward those who did good. This shows a key part of his mission. He was not sent just to conquer lands but to establish justice. His rule was based on wisdom, mercy, and discipline. In a world where power is often misused, Zulqarnain's story serves as a reminder that leadership is about serving people, not controlling them. A man who followed Allah's plan. One of the most important lessons from Zulqarnain's journey is that he was not acting on his own desires, he was fulfilling a divine mission. He followed the path Allah had set for him, without seeking personal glory. His story teaches us that true success lies in following Allah's guidance. Zulqarnain did not chase power for himself, he used it to establish justice. This is a lesson for anyone in a position of influence. Power is a test, and the way we use it determines our legacy. Conclusion. A journey of purpose, not just distance. Zulqarnain's first journey was more than just an expedition, it was a mission filled with deep wisdom. It teaches us about justice, leadership, responsibility, and the pursuit of truth. He was not just a traveler, he was a leader chosen by Allah to spread justice. His journey reminds us that every power and ability we are given is a test, and how we use it defines our true success. And this was just the beginning. Zulqarnain's mission did not end here. His next journey would take him even further, revealing more mysteries and deeper lessons. Imagine a ruler, blessed with power and wisdom, standing at the edge of a world no one else had seen. Zulqarnain had already traveled to the place where the sun set in a muddy spring, where he encountered a civilization and made a choice that reflected his just rule. But his journey was far from over. This was only the beginning. The Quran tells us that Zulqarnain did not stop after his first expedition. He continued forward, setting out on another journey, one that would take him to a place unlike any other. The second journey described in the Quran is even more mysterious. Where did he go next? What kind of people did he encounter? And what challenges awaited him? Some believe that his second journey led him to the farthest reaches of the earth, while others suggest he may have traveled beyond, crossing the barriers of time and space. Did he unlock hidden realms? Were there portals guiding his path? And was he on a mission that extended beyond the understanding of ordinary men? Zulqarnain was not just a conqueror, he was a man on a divine mission. Every journey he took had a purpose. Every land he visited held a lesson. His next destination would reveal even greater mysteries, testing his wisdom and his power like never before. In the next episode, we will unravel the secrets of Zulqarnain's second journey. What did he find? Who did he meet? And how did this voyage shape the legacy of one of the most enigmatic figures in history? Stay tuned as we continue exploring the remarkable odyssey of Zulqarnain. The next chapter is about to begin.